Yeah, yeah. What's up? What's happening? What's going on? Good morning out there. Good morning. Am I still low on the damn? Yo, what's up? My man, EMP. Good morning to you, sir. What's happening? Welcome to this Wednesday edition of BS with B Hannas. That's me, Nikki B Hannas, here on YouTube, my little morning talk show. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, ideally. Get out of here and talk some shit. The whole premise of this show is that I like to wake up and take a nice walk, read some good stuff, come out here to talk to the people, pass on some kind of message. If I can summon a message, if there's a message to be given, I'll come out here and give it to y'all. I'll go lift some weights. Today's shoulder day, Wednesday. Build them motherfucking shoulders up. And then I'll go to work and go about my business, live my life. Damn, I can only hear myself in one side of my fucking headphones. I wonder how to fix that. It's all right. Technical difficulties abound. In any event, that's the whole idea of this. You can find this on BS with Hannas on YouTube. Goes out to Spotify, Apple Podcast, so on and so forth. Primarily, I like to make music. You just heard a little bit to hear it correctly. NikkiBHannas.com, NikkiBHannas.bandcamp.com, NikkiBHannas on all streaming services. I like to write from time to time. That's NikkiBHannas.substack.com. You know what I mean? And when I think about this in the intentional sense, I'm just trying to use my life and find the things that worked for me, things that didn't, the good, the bad, pay that shit forward through songs, writing, talking, whatever. So if you want to support the mission, thank you for that interruption, computer. If one would like to support the mission, patreon.com/NikkiBHannas. You can be a friend of the Hannas. But yeah, that's what's up. That's it. That's the plugs. Good morning. It's Wednesday. And ordinarily I kind of write some notes the day or so before I do this. I don't really have a lot to work with today. I'm definitely still thinking in the realm of the politics and the political events happening today. I guess a week ago was the Mr. Charlie Kirk assassination. And within a week of these events is kind of when, in my experience, being a learned conspiracy theorist, you got to give it a little bit of time to kind of see where things land and be able to discern the bullshit from what's real. Many of us will react emotionally, and there's a utility to emotional reaction. I'm not, as much as I like Stoicism and as much as I wrestle with, you know, masculinity and being emotionless and whatever the fuck else. We have emotions for a reason. They exist for a reason. They come from somewhere in the proverbial out there, and they're usually a sign or an indication. You know, it, it, they're senses. That's why we feel them. They're meant to guide us in some level, but they are not meant to necessarily lead us. And a lot of it the last week, what I've been thinking about is how anger and reactionary emotions could pivot this whole situation into something way worse. And I haven't really seen a whole lot of that. What I have seen in the past week, I'm just a dude out here. I'm just a dude who plays guitar and fucking works in a burger joint, dude. So, like, whatever. My word ain't the be all end all, of course. But what I've seen is a lot of things in the official narratives that don't make sense. And I see it fractured along party lines. Now, on the left side, of which I am not a member, not that I'm a member or I don't lead with being a Republican. I don't lead with being a conservative, so on and so forth. I don't lead with that. That's just, if I fall in this arrangement of ideas, yeah, I'd be a right winger. Okay, so what I've seen on the left wing of things is mostly glee and fake bullshit. A lot of people saying that political violence is unacceptable, and we have to mourn the lane. You motherfuckers are just doing lip service to keep your jobs, which is what you're trained to do. You guys are all trained actors. You're trained to say the right thing. Your career is based on saying the right thing, presenting yourself as if you are, a moral figure, presenting yourselves as if you are honest people, presenting yourselves to say what you need to say to keep doing what it is you are doing, which largely across the aisle is nothing. These motherfuckers ain't doing nothing. So on the left, what I see on the left is people either paying lip service to and just saying the right things, the phony bullshit, And then on the more extreme ends of it, there's outright celebrations and enshrinement and endorsement of these types of things. All the same people, that really support the fucking bull. What is it, Luigi Mangione, guy who shot the CEO on the street allegedly, and even that's like shady. They turn that bull into like a sex symbol. They turn that bull into like a hero. He's now a folk hero in the halls of Reddit and other, Discord servers or whatever. It's all stupid. These people are fucking disgusting. And what I've seen in the past week really emphasizes the disgust I have with them that I don't really feel inclined to justify anymore. Like there's always a part of me. It's a big thing in Christianity and it's a big thing in Islam where no one is ever too far gone to come back. No one is ever completely and irrevocably forsaken. That's not our call to make as people. That's not a human decision. That's way beyond our jurisdiction in terms of judgment. But I just don't really care about that. I see people that sympathize with it or are going on fucking crazy, insane comment thread spirals on fucking YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or whatever I'm consuming social media. I'm kind of looking at this and I'm a sick fuck because I look for it a little bit just to kind of get my finger on the pulse of what people around me are saying, which is where Facebook is useful because that's not so filled with randos. That's not necessarily always just bots or anonymous people hiding behind like anime pictures or something. It's usually people with names and they're putting their faces out there. You can go on and see their friends and shit. Not that I'm so interested in them. In fact, I don't really care about them, but they kind of disgust me. It's like it just fucking blows my mind that people can see what happened last week and be like, "Oh, this is actually a good thing." You know, that's like a moderate take to some of these people. And then other people are out here just outright saying he deserved worse. What? You people are sick in the fucking head. And I don't really want to, there goes that part of me that used to be, he's a dummy. They're stupid. They're fucking crazy. They're lost in the sauce and drinking that Kool-Aid. And granted, they're saying the same shit about me, but now it's like, fuck them. They're wrong. They're dumb. I'm better than them. They are beneath me. So that's kind of where I'm looking at with that element to it. And like I said, the past couple shows, I'm not so rattled at this point about it because it's not as shocking. Big events happen and they're shocking. They're fucking just like they hit you upside the head, kind of jolts you a little bit. And you have to make sense of that. After a week or so, you can kind of make sense of that. So now on the right side of things, you've got the classic stories happening. The classic story is happening out here. And this is right about typically where I start to tune out. I kind of have spent the past week figuring out my position on it, figuring out how I feel about it, figuring out what I think about it. What's the appropriate way to move forward. But now we just have to watch. Now we just have to watch. I don't believe it's something to tune out on. I think this is too significant to just say, oh, it's more of the same. Duh, 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 duh. I don't think this is that. I think this is a turning up of the temperature in the social problems. That's what I'm looking at. When ordinarily the political shit is like, fuck it, whatever. It's just theater. It's just people. It's just a stage. They're just doing what they're supposed to do, which is beat the drums and run the media machine and fucking just get their hooks in you and keep you going. This is different to me, but it's starting to look like it's more of the same in the sense that a lot of things do not add up. The conspiracy theorists out there are doing their due diligence, and some of the things that they're bringing to the table, idiosyncrasies or misaligned stories, just not adding up. The people in charge, the FBI, no one fucking trusts them anyway. And all the dumb shit they're spewing, we trust them even less. We got the fucking AG Pam Bondi coming out and just running her yap. And it's like, this is just, all right. So I guess this is just business as usual. I guess it's just fucking business as usual. Everyone gets to make content about it, though. So to some extent, most motherfuckers out here now there's a good reason to pontificate, which is, I'm complicit too. I'm pontificating about it. But I'm not in charge of a fucking media empire. You know what I mean? I'm not getting paid off this shit. I'm just trying to make sense of my life. I'm trying to live my life. I'd like my life to be led well. And I'm made to witness horror. I'm made to witness fucking evil things. both in the media matrix as well as, vicariously down the chain of effects. I can kind of see where it lies in my community now. I'd like to navigate around that, skirt the fuck around that, and keep going with my vision, with my intention, with doing what I'm trying to do, build what I want to build. And it's hard to navigate anyway before you include all of this shit. So then when I look to the media matrix to see maybe some of these people are telling the truth, you can't tell. Fucking A. Like always, you can't tell. So now it's on the right. There's people saying it's all fake, it's all staged. It didn't even really happen. And then other people are using it as an excuse to pass heavy-handed laws. And meanwhile, half of our fucking alleged representatives and political figures are overseas doing God knows what with our greatest ally. They're just using it as an excuse to fucking have these little in-circle meetings, and they all get on stage and speak their piece, and everybody gets to make press conferences and condemn the acts of but you don't know what the fuck these people are doing. So we're back right to normal. Bad event happens, give it a week, and right back to where we were, continuing to go where we're going, whatever that actually fucking looks like. But I still got a bad sense about it. Me personally, I got a bad sense about it. It's like the early lockdown thing. It's like the early COVID thing. There's like a fucking intuition that something's still kind of looming around the corner. And what that is, we just got to wait and see. Just got to wait and see. But I don't like it. I don't like it, but it's not, it's not quite as heavy. Which lends us into the trap of like, oh, how long until we forget about it? Because that's something I'd noticed over the years of high political activity, high political drama. Big event happens, we fucking rabble rouse and lose our collective shit about it for about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. All the talking points are made, all the talking points are written. They are handed out to the foot soldiers who then get on screens and propagate the messages to us. And that lasts for about 3 weeks, and then on to the next thing. And that's what I noticed with the left, at least, when motherfuckers started putting Ukrainian flags as their profile pictures, or whether it's the black square or I got my COVID vaccine, we can do it, stay home, save lives. Once things are trendy, it's the current thing. That's what some cats online say. What's the current thing? I support the current thing. It's important to be careful with us, at least for me, not even with us. I don't know who collectively I would represent. I don't represent anyone collectively. I represent my motherfucking self. Got to be careful not to play the same game where this is just the current thing. And then I got to prove my point. I'm not engaging with people about this. Definitely not online. That's just dumb. Public discourse got shot in the throat, bruh. And if it's fake and fucking stupid and all a social construct or whatever you want to call it, I could use more colorful language, but out of respect for YouTube, who gives me a program, I won't do that. But like, if it's all fake, if it's all a psyop, there's heavy psyops going on right now. No doubt. This is psychological war. That's why, they'll censor fucking everything on the internet, but then you'll see the assassination in live time right next to a big old pair of titties. It's psychological, and that's where it affects us. That's where we have to navigate it. I don't even know where I was going, because it fucking makes me mad. But you can't not I don't think it's wise to just totally not partake. It's a fine line, and this is kind of like the Stoicism thing. This is why it's valuable. This is why I find it to be valuable, at least. My biggest takeaway is that it's like anything I really intensely thought about, or any like emotion, reaction that I intensely had, I need to keep that. I need to not, if it means something, which I think it does, if it means something, I have to extract all the silver lining that I can from it. This is the natural rule of dealing with any bad things in life, I think, in my view anyway. But it's hard. And then when it's pushes us beyond our comfort phase, it's like, this is when people want second opinions or confirmations, or, when it's so shocking and like visceral. I find it difficult sometimes. Maybe it's just me, but I find it hard to be so steadfast in what I believe. Like, this is why people talk to people. We need confirmation. We need reaffirmation. We need, you agree, right? Yeah, I fucking agree. All right, fuck yeah, cool. At least now me and this bull, we're on the same page. Now we can kind of latch into it a little bit. There's not that doubt. There's not that potential veneer of truth. Because it is hard. There's that meme when it's like, yeah, you are all wrong. And it's hard to be that dude sometimes, standing so forthright in what you believe. Who cares what anyone else thinks? Real easy to say, real hard to do. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about today. And it's just like, now it's just disheartening. Now it's all just fucking disheartening. Watching the media do what media does, not surprising, but disheartening nonetheless. On that note, and it's kind of pertinent to here, right? So as I'm doing my morning, oh shit, dropping everything. As I'm doing my morning readings, this is from the Daily Stoic today. This is from the allegedly great. I like him. This is from Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius says, "What if someone despises me? Let them see to it, but I will see to it that I won't be found doing or saying anything contemptible. What if someone hates me? Let them see to that, but I will see to it that I am kind and good-natured to all and prepared to show even the hater where they went wrong, not in a critical way or to show off my patience, but genuinely and usefully." That's wise, Mr. Aurelius. I don't know that I agree. As attention is Stoicism, just to be so above it all. So above it all. Probably easy to be above it all, truthfully, when you are the literal emperor of motherfucking Rome. You're a dude on the street and you might be a couple minutes away from fucking conflict. Who knows, dude? I ain't fucking trying to show a hater the right way. And we've even cheapened that fucking phrase. Oh, they're just a hater. They're just a hater. They're just a hater. Why are you hating? There's a real difference between jealousy and fucking small amounts of contempt and dislike and, what a hater is. Motherfuckers talking that shit. There's a big difference between calling someone who does that a hater to write it off and not be bothered by it. I'm unbothered. There's a difference between that and then a motherfucker who like hates you. And because someone thinks like you and is killed on live television, they celebrate with joy. There's a big difference there. Those are not reasonable people. And they are among us. So I don't know. That's fucking what I'm thinking about. Fuck those people. Fuck those people. Best thing I can do is, like I said the other day, double down on the things I've been doing. Keep reading, keep lifting, get bigger, get stronger, read more, write more, create more, against what I feel. Because it's, shit, there's still days when, what do I feel like doing? I feel like going to the motherfucking bar and drinking some whiskey sometimes. Shit, it's football season, dog. I'm not even a huge football guy, but there's still parts of me that like would love to just go drink 12 beers and smoke a whole pack of cigarettes and watch the game and not care about socio-political implications of public demonstrations of outright violence and the epistemological confusion that comes with interfacing with the media personalities and how echo chambers propagate their own rationality and fucking and sometimes it's like, dude, fuck that. But you got to do with that energy the best way we can, which to me seems to be creation and weightlifting. Keep that thumos high the best I can. Not let my thumos suffer from this. In fact, I ought to make my thumos anti-fragile, where things in the world seek to break it down, seek to beat it out of me, make me a shell. Nah, that spiritedness ought to be reaffirmed by these horrible things and just lean into it. Be better for it. Be better to your people. Be better at what you do. Keep going. Get more relentless. So that's what I'm thinking about, at least on this fine Wednesday. It's kind of rainy out and shit, but that's all right. That's what I'm thinking about today. What do you think, EMP? You're out there working, just listening. You sent me some emojis. What's that emoji? Guitar, flex, fire, mic. Yeah, man, you just got it figured out, homeboy. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's what I'm fucking winding down. That's what happens when I got no juice. That's what happens when I got no notes to go on. But not too bad for a complete and total freestyle. Thoughts galore. Yeah, man. We're all pensive about this shit out here, and it's real easy. This is what the allegedly enlightened people say. They say just let it all be beneath you. They say to just not play, don't even participate. Once you participate, once you give it energy, it absorbs that energy. And that's all very true. But that also assumes that it's all frivolous. This isn't just, the craziest thing that AOC or Chuck Schumer said in a tweet. This isn't just some irresponsible Twitter response from, I don't know, fucking Andrew Tate or something. You know, if it's real, how we seen it, this Charlie Kirk killing, then it's horrible. If it's fake and it's just another psyop and it's all a stage and it's meant to further just wedge that fucking divide out there more, then is it as horrible? I don't know, but it's still fucking horrible to just trivialize that and live in your own little world, you know, plug your ears and da, 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 da. I get it, you know, I get it, but I don't think this is that. I think there's too much at stake. And I hate when people talk like that. There's so much at stake in our democracy. If we don't deal with this existential crisis, shut the fuck up with that shit. But that's what I'm seeing. That's how I'm experiencing it. So I guess we're just out here trying to make sense about it. Anyway, whatever. These shoulders ain't going to build themselves, so I'm fucking going to get up out of here. Thanks for hanging out with me this Wednesday morning. Like I said, you can listen to this BS with Hannas on YouTube, Spotify podcast, Apple podcast. Find my music, heavy blues metal, NickyBHannas.com, NickyBHannas.bandcamp.com, NickyBHannas on all streaming services. If you want to read things that I write about, I wrote a new Substack piece yesterday on anger, part 2. Getting a little philosophical with it, probably punching above my weight class in terms of what I'm trying to fucking say. But that's the funny thing is I'm out of practice as a writer. So when I get going, when I get flowing, sometimes I don't know if it's going to land that well. But that's all right. We do it anyway. That's how you get better. It's like writing a song. If you fucking start writing a song, you never know exactly where it's going to land, but you keep at it, you'll craft something. You'll get a little better every song you write. So that's all. That's what I'm about. If you want to support the mission, patreon.com/NickyBHannas. Rolling out of here. Wrong path. Be honest. One love. Peace. Play, dickhead.